Hey, just had to grab my glasses. Welcome to the channel, Brian the Divine Healer here with you. Just gonna try to fix my camera, get it more shiny. Yeah, that's better. Oh, now you can see me. What's up? Did you bring your blanket? I hope so. Let's kick it, right? So what's going on with y'all? Right? Having a good time for yourselves? Yeah, enjoying yourselves. This is how we kick it, right? Cool, comfortable, and collected, right? So I just wanted to come on here, right? I really wanted to just put some stuff out there because I don't know about you, but me personally, I'm getting kind of fed up with a lot of caca around here, right? So before I get into all that, right, I just wanted to really hit this up, right? Because obviously I got my blanket, I'm kicking it, right? I'm being as authentic as I can. But I just wanted to bring this up and first touch on this, right? The whole reason why I'm on YouTube, right? Let me tell you something. Let me hit this down a little bit. The whole reason why I got on YouTube in the very beginning, first of all, my kids love them dearly, but they were all like, "Hey, Dad," when they're younger, they're like, I want to be a YouTuber and all this, and I was always like, you ain't gonna never make no money on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's a crook and this and that, blah blah blah. Get a real job. And lo and behold, here I am. Okay. Which, by the way, I apologize to my kids for that, for doubting them and all that. But nonetheless, the reason why I jumped on here was because the end of 2019, 2020, I went through multiple traumas, serious, hardcore, kill you kind of traumas, right? I'm not going to get into that because I'm not going to make it about me. I just wanted to hit this up real quick, right? But yeah, multiple traumas that just, bam, one after another, 3 in a row, all within like a few months. It was very disastrous for me, right? It really was. So just one day I woke up and then I started thinking, I want to do tarot, right? It wasn't because I wanted to get on YouTube. I didn't want to be famous. I didn't want to be shit like that, right? Because I could give two craps. But it was, like I said, the multiple traumas that boom, boom, boom hit me right away. I woke up and all of a sudden now I'm buying a tarot deck, right? I have no idea why I'm doing this, but this is what's happening, right? So I didn't know this, or I should say this from this, right? I didn't know my ass from my elbow about it. But when I was younger, I had my aunt teach me some things, right? Teach me about the zodiacs and the charts and the horoscopes and all that, right? So I kind of had that base. I already knew it. And plus, when I got older, doing the research from my family, I knew that I had psychics in my family, right? So that didn't click until later on, just most recently. But before, I had some previous knowledge, right? So then I'm sitting here with the tarot deck and I'm doing tarot, right? And I'm a very cool, calm, collective kind of guy. Sometimes I like to be out there on Front Street. Most of the time I really don't. I like to keep to myself. I'm a chill guy. You know what I mean? I don't like the red carpet kind of scene and all that shit, right? So when I started doing the tarot, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Then it was really like, okay, this is going to be something for me that him upstairs was telling me that I'm going to help myself heal through the multiple traumas all within that 2019, 2020 beginning, and I was so shy. At first, when I did my videos, I didn't put my face on that shit, right? Because I had no idea why. But now I see why the bad juju, most people don't. But that's not really why they do that. It's because they hide the face because they're reading the book and giving you the definitions, right? But when I started working on it, right, which means getting the base of the idea of what these cards mean, right, doing the research, understanding what they're really all about, it changed my whole perception. It wasn't now I'm gonna manipulate people into fear, into giving me money and all this other bullshit that people do. And you see it. I know you do. It sucks, right? But you can only control yourself, right? Yes, and I have my Tamarite with me. Oh, crystals are badass. So when I started evolving, okay, then I started to feel a little more healed, okay? Like I said, it wasn't just a trauma, it was multiple traumas. I mean, devastating in the worst sense that you could imagine. I don't need to get into those descriptions, like I said, because this isn't about me. It's just kind of free flowing of how I started, because then I'm going to get into some real shit, right? So when I started developing my intuition, because I always knew I had a sense. From a kid, I always knew I had these weird spidey senses, okay? And it was like, I never understood why I would tell somebody something out of the blue, random, and then all of a sudden, that shit happens. And they look at me like I'm an alien when I got 5 heads, because how the hell did you know that? Okay. So I'll give you a quick example. I have a friend down in San Antonio, right? You all know, I'm up in Texas, right? This is about 88 miles from where I am to where this person is. I'm talking on the phone with them. All of a sudden, I hear the dogs barking, right? And I'm like, hey, your dogs are trying to tell you something. And I'm like, she's like, no, whatever. I don't think so. So I was like, no, listen. There is a white truck in front of your house. Mind you, I'm 88 miles away on the phone. This is how you guys got to know this collective consciousness is true and real, right? So I told this person, I said, listen, there's somebody in front of your house with a white truck and there's 2 men inside. This person was like, nah, I don't believe you. A bunch of bullshit. I said, get your drunk ass up and go check. But bring a bat or something, okay? This is the person, Scorpio, so he gets rowdy, right? Hero. So this person got up and went and checked. And guess what? Boom! There was a white car, not a truck, because in my vision, I only seen from the hood to the back door. I didn't see the truck part. So I thought it was a truck, whatever. But there was 2 dudes in it. And this person freaked out. Hey, what's going on? Let me grab my glasses. I'm glad you guys made it. Thank you. Michelle, hey, Leo Love from San Antonio. What's up? Yeah, so my friend lived close to SeaWorld, right? So I'm talking, and I'm like, hey, there's somebody in front of your house. No, whatever. Checked and found out it was true, right? Straight up true. Okay, so at that moment, I knew from being in it, like my childhood, that there was something different. Okay? So when I started working on this tarot and developing this intuition, right? This knowing without knowing, we'll call it the high priestess, right? It was like so amazing, right? Because now when I started doing y'all's readings, guess what? Shit was connected for you. Like I was on the phone with you, talking to you, telling you what's going on. And people were like, where's the hidden cameras? Oh my God. And I'm like, just stop. It's not that at all, right? So when you have your discernment and you understand what is the reality of things to what is behind the veil, because there is a veil, and you start fine-tuning that stuff, it is so real. It is unbelievable, okay? So now when I'm hitting up this YouTube, right, it started getting crazy, right? At first, I was shy, like I said, and it didn't really go nowhere. I'd have like 3 views in a week. And I'm like, this is great, right? But something was off. I knew that this wasn't right, because I've seen other people get on here brand new and blow it up real quick, and they suck and they're nervous and all this other stuff, right? Has nothing to do with the popularity. Has nothing to do with you don't know what you're talking about, nothing. This is some of the truths I'm going to get into in a minute, okay? And so it's about not giving a shit. Meaning, if you have a reason to do something, which is a good reason, we don't do the bad things and try to justify that stuff. We don't. If you have something that you're trying to do that is good, you better not let no one stop you ever. I don't care how hard the challenge is because, ooh, you don't understand challenges. I mean, some of y'all do. Some of y'all, like Michelle, went through some hard stuff, right? We had a little chit chat about some things, right? Exactly, right? Hey, sunshine, what's up? What's up? Right? So, yes, when you got something and you're on a mission, stupid Google. Well, that's a whole nother topic, but we're gonna hit that up too, right? So yeah, um, it's like when you have something to do and you're focused, there should be nothing to take you away from that, especially if it's on a good, higher vibrational level thing, right? So with the tarot, it's like, okay, great. This is now only going to be a base. I enjoyed doing tarot readings for you. I really do because I could see and I could feel how the connection is and know that what I'm telling you resonates for enough for you to come back in your comments. You tell me what's going on. That's magnificent. So then obviously I knew there was something there. There was some kind of power there, right? Power is a natural gift. Yeah, glad you're here. So the power is a natural gift. I got my blankie too. I'm just chill. Right? So I started branching off, right? I got into the crystals, learning about the crystals, understanding what vibrations are. And it was all just based off this tarot idea, right? Which was just this, I mean, you could say it's a trauma bond, man, because like three devastating life events in your life within a month or two, yeah, it's going to kick you right in the ass. Okay. So then I just had this power to be like, I don't care. I mean, I care, okay, for the good things, for the good side of things, for the light things. Okay. But when it comes to these evil demon people, let me tell you, man, they can be strong. They can be fierce. They can get right up in your business and wreck it real quick. And we're talking about addictions. We're talking about messing with your mind. So now you got mental health. Now we're talking about messing with your emotions. Now you got depression. I mean, demons are just not just a physical sense of people. Oh, hey, Ray, what's going on? I'm glad you tripped on in here. Come on in and just hang out, right? We're just, like I said, raw and uncut. Yeah. And some of the comments might be kind of blocked because of the wording, because I do have a limit on an age group. So I'm allowing 13-year-olds to get up in here. So we got to be a little respectful. Okay. So those comments are going to be automatically blocked if YouTube thinks it's kind of shady. Right. Where the baby's at? Well, Phoebe died. Michelle, in case you didn't know that, Phoebe died. Yeah, she died in May, and Maisie's in the bed. Right. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep these up here because I'm always putting on my glasses. Right? So when I really started noticing, it's okay. I appreciate that. It was a hard loss, really was. I had my Frenchie for like 13 years, and I'm still feeling it. You know, she was my sidekick. We was Batman, Robin, and the Lone Ranger and Tonto. That was me and her. Right, I was kicking it. Okay, so when I started fine tuning my intuition and my tarot stuff, seeing the results of you guys, okay, it was really like, okay, this needs to get bigger. This needs to get better. This needs to get stronger. I need to fine tune some shit. And so when I started doing that, then I started noticing the evil, the bad people, right? The nasty jokers that come in your comments and try to just, sideblind you with their retarded comments. And I can say retarded because my brother is or was retarded. You know what I mean? So I don't like to be politically correct for anybody when that's just impinging on my freedom of how I got to express myself, right? If it's in a derogatory way, then I guess, yes, maybe I should be corrected. But if you need it, then you're going to get it. Yeah. So that's Angel Michael. Oh, what you talking about Michael for? He is God's warrior, number one ace, God's warrior, right? But he's also the protector of the chosen. He protects the chosen, right? So A little FYI, I've been through a lot of trauma, not just within, like I said, the end of 2019 to 2020. It was my whole life. Okay. I don't know about being 9 years old and stepping on a nail, not even feeling it on Easter Sunday. Going home, taking your shoes off. Your mother's like, "Why is your foot all bloody?" I don't know. Let's look. Now I got a big hole in my foot because I stepped on a nail. She cleans it up because she's a nurse. And then I wake up in the morning, and I have that tetanus line going all the way up my leg to almost my kneecap. Well, we got to go to the hospital. We're about to die. All right. So through my whole life, I've had a lot of trauma. Right. And I've expressed that in another video, so you might want to go dig into my archives for that. But it's pretty in depth, right? And so when I started really understanding of not only the interpretation of how you guys are taking what I'm saying, but it's the other people, the people that don't like to hear the truth, the people who like to shut that shit down. That's where it was making a big impact. Okay. And they were seeing all of that. Yeah, she was my soul doggy. She still is, because she's right over there in a little pine box. And I had a little thing engraved on there that said Frenchies for Freedom, with her name on it and stuff. It was cool. Right. So these big people, that was where the most influence was, meaning they could see my energy. I mean, well, I just made a little video about energy vampires. You don't think that shit's real? That you need to go crawl under the rock where you should be living, because that is a bunch of shit that you don't understand, because it's real. It's true. You have narcissists that just hang around your life entirely for your life just to suck you dry, and not even in a good way. You know what I mean? It's crazy, right? So when I got all that together and I realized, okay, I have my cheerleaders, my subscribers, my favorite fans, my loyal family, right? Then I have my haters. I have the other people that can do similar to what I could do, but not as good. So then, if you're running a race, there's only, first place. Anything else is just a loser. They're last. And so I think a lot of those were picking it up. So a lot of it was the interference of getting hung up on the Wi-Fi and shutting down on the shadow banning and all this other stuff. Because why? They seen the energy. They knew the connection. They knew, just like that person on the phone when I said 88 miles away, somebody in front of your house. These people knew. They see it. They feel it, because that collective energy is true. Okay. So they're going to shut it down. Why? Because they don't want me telling you what the deal is. True story. Oh, yeah, you surely know that, Michelle. I know, right? Yeah. So I got a problem with people not being authentic, okay? I mean, you're allowed to be who you want to be, free willy, whatever. You want to wear a mask. It's just you got traumas you haven't healed through yet, so you quite don't understand what the hell is even going on in your own world. Hey, Rose, how's it going? Yeah, so one thing that I learned about trauma, it hurts. It hurts, okay? But God gives us that chance to say, hey, you want to do something about it or not, right? And these are in these moments of clairvoyance, which is hearing something on the radio or somebody saying something, or, clear audio and visuals and all these different ways of understanding what's being told to you. The angel numbers, right? That shit's real. There's synchronicities. Those are the angels talking to you, because they can't come down and sit next to you and say, hey, unless God allows it. And it has to be a very traumatic reason, like Noah and Moses and all this, right? Only certain people get that kind of connection. I'll get into that later, because other people have a little more prestige and they get to sit at God's feet every night. So, when you start to realize your own truth, right? When you can shuffle through your pains and your traumas, and you understand that, sure, it's going to hurt, sure, it's going to suck, But you have to take that and do something with it. Most people just sit on it and then they get depressed and they don't know what to do with themselves and they're just lost, right? They're lost. And then they get further lost because these people that are the conglomerates, the monopolizers, all these people, they will do things to distract you. They will do things to put you out of your mind. They will do things to you so then you don't see the true power that you have to take that trauma and turn that bitch into gold. Seriously. Not only for yourself, but for other people. And the suppression of our own energy by these vampires is disgusting. Okay? You got the TV fuzzing your brain. You got your smartphones fuzzing your brain. Oh, you don't think that's radiation? Sure it is. Electromagnetic waves. Don't let me get into the science of shit because I'll blow your mind. It's true. And so these things hold us back from either evolving, for one, and for two, being able to transmute our energies. The bad, the trauma, the pain, all that, the sadness, you can turn it on a dime and turn it into a hot air balloon floating around because you're just loving it. Yes, Michelle, you knew your whole life, right? I mean, the evil eye is a true deal, right? Thank you. I am giving you some validation there, sunshine. So when I sit here and I watch some shit on TV, like the news, and y'all know me, right? I don't care. If it's the truth, I'm going to put it 10 feet deep up in your ass. Because why? The truths are based off the fact. Can you deny the facts? I don't think so. What color's my skin? Can you say I'm any other different color? I don't think so. Unless, I go out and, because I'm in Texas and we get really super like golden tan out here. Woo, it's getting hot in this blanket. It's all that woolly fur. Yeah. So they know that we have this ability, right? Because we are just souls of the light in this flesh suit, okay? Strip off the flesh. What are you? You are a ball of light. You're a Care Bear, right? You do the Care Bear stare, right? And so, yeah. If you want to drink the Kool-Aid, then fine. Michelle, then you're only wearing the mask, right? You're only going to wear the mask. You're going to be the ostrich putting your head in the sand and not doing anything about it. So you are actually really denying your own energy and your own strength because you're choosing to ignore. That's all I'm saying about that, right? So when I started working and more and putting more stuff out, I was like, whoa, you know what? Practice kind of does make perfect, right? Because not only am I putting out messages to y'all, you're hearing it and you're receiving it and letting me know in the comments how's it working for you. I was like, I got something here. So I kept going a little deeper, right? And when I got deeper, when I dove into that rabbit hole, I mean, there's a point in people's lives where they go through so much shit that it's like, you ever seen that movie, You Throw Mama from the Train? She whacks the dude upside the head with a pan. Ding, right? Yeah, that bell really rings, my friends, okay? It does get turned on. So then when you see through the veil and you see the ugliness and you see not with your, well, I mean, you see with your eyes, but it's a way, it's an interpretation in the soul, in the spirit, through the third eye. When you get that interpretation, it's amazing how much power by the truth and the facts that you can generate. When I say I got haters, oh boy, it's not even funny. I don't know about a helicopter flying over my house. Just not high up. I mean, coming in low. That helicopter was buzzing the freaking utility lines around my house 2 laps, boom, boom, right above my house. Am I that special? You want to come visit me? That's so fantastic. I love it. But why? Because I'm digging in their ass. And these people, the energy vampires, the demonic spirits, the brain dead mechanical clones that pretend to be our POTUS, they are the ones that are going to put these roadblocks for us. They're the ones that are going to be monitoring you to make sure that you are not putting out too much information to give to the truth to the people that deserve it, which is everybody. I mean, if you know something's messed up, not saying if you don't say nothing, it's your fault, but some people will just stop at that line. They're like, okay, I know this, but I know if I cross that line, then guess what? I'm going to get my ass hemmed up. I'm going to be in trouble, and oh my God, and I can't have that. You know how much trouble I've been in? I mean, not through the law, because hopefully they're on my side watching me, but it's the shadow banning. It's the let me know your Wi-Fi and cut that shit off, and let me just. Yesterday, I tried to go live 4 times in a row. And it kept saying, sorry, our server's down. Google server's down whenever. Seriously, shut up. You know what I mean? So when you start knowing that these speed bumps and these curveballs keep coming your way, thank you, my friend. Thank you, Michelle. Appreciate that. It is very powerful. Okay. And when you realize that power and you say, I know what I'm saying is the truth, and you can't tell me otherwise, that is a magnificent power that nothing can be stopped. Because you have that will and that drive and that motivation to keep shoving it in their face. That's right, sunshine. The network is real. It surely is. And I welcome it, because if you want to spy on my camera to see if I'm talking some truth about some stuff that these pony boys and girls are doing, sure, you can watch me take a poop. You can watch me take a shower, go mow the lawn. I don't care. I ain't hiding nothing. I'll never have to, right? It's just your perversions on how you feel subconsciously self-conscious. You want some science? Okay, well, there is a real science behind your brain when you have, they call it like, I don't know, some people call it the God complex, whatever, but they've done MRIs of people's brains when they're in prayer and meditation, and there is a different part of your brain that doesn't light up until you do it. MRI, that's like a magnetic radiation indicator or something like that. And it really shows these certain parts of your brain that light up, right? And that's amazing. So then when they know that by the science, and if they have the picture of your brain glowing, that is the truth. That is the facts. How can you deny that? So when people say, oh, well, you know, this person's just having, what do they call it? A psychosomatic psychosis or some psychological bullshit that they try to put on you, which I think psychologists are just people that really, some that try to defer you from your real power by telling you, oh, well, you have ADHD. Well, no, guess what? You just have no patience. You can't sit still. That's ADHD. So what are they going to do? Shove a bunch of medicine down your throat, which is man-made synthetic pills, which are disgusting chemicals that just wreck your body, to change your body chemistry, to really put you in this dull state. Seriously. When I was speaking earlier about my brother being retarded, God rest his soul, because he was one of my traumas that I went through and started my spirituality. Hey, Erica, what's going on, girlie? Yeah. Yes, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Grab your blankie, chill. Okay. So, yeah. When you go through these traumas, and then you could really see them and you could heal from them and push yourself through them. Meaning like this. If you stub your toe, oh, that's a trauma, right? So now what are you going to do? The first thing you're going to do, some people feel angry. They're going to feel mad and angry. So they're going to start smashing shit in the house. Oh, right. So now what is it with the consequences of that? Not only you got a hurt toe, probably your little pinky toe, right? But now you got to go clean up all the shit you just destroyed in your house. Ridiculous. Now that is a transmutation of energy, by the way, if you don't understand that. And all's refuse on my to be on their own. Yeah, 20 years. Wow, sunshine. That's crazy. So when you refuse to give in to that ego of the flesh suit and letting that transmutation of energy, when you stub your toe to wrecking your house, the moment when you start cleaning your house, you have a self-reflection. Well, look at how much shit I got to do now because I got to clean up all the broken glass. It was more work than it was worth. Plain and simple. In that moment of that realization, that's where the gift is. That is where the power is. So the next time you stub your toe, you're going to realize, hey, I wrecked my house and it took me like an hour to clean it because I was an idiot. It's going to change if you have that consciousness. Okay. Then when you stub your toe the next time, you know you're not going to go thrash your house. You're going to find a different means and a different way to channel that energy. Channeling is transmuting. It's taking from one thing, turning it into another. Now we're talking alchemical processes, alchemy. It's not about the sorcerer and the stone and trying to turn iron and nickel and copper into gold, because I'm sure some fools try to do that, but it's really on a spiritual, energetic level. Transmuting your energies into something better. I've always said, you're in pain. That one moment you'll have, that one opportunity to see that whole reflection of everything, before, during, and after. You could turn that into something different. And that should turn into profit, pleasure, however you see it. That's where the creativity flows. So now you're going to become an artist because you're so mad you're going to do something different, not thrash your house. Okay. So the transmutation of energy is just really shifting your consciousness and putting it somewhere else on a more positive level. That's all that is. And these clowns, they know this. These clowns know this. And these clowns have tested people like myself and others that are high up there on these levels to really test you. Oh, you want to make a YouTube video talking about the president falling off his bike? When we're trying to suppress that, because that's kind of a major issue, we're going to shut off your Wi-Fi, so then you can't make a video. I mean, the reach and the money that these people have is just disgusting for them to be able to do these kind of speed bumps and hiccups, right? True story. True story. I have not heard them. No, but I will check them out, Michelle, for sure. Right. Okay, so when you are now in tune with that consciousness of yourself and able to transmute that energy, now anything that comes in your way, traumas, incidences, speed bumps, hiccups, whatever, you can easily deflect. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know, I'm not dealing with it, right? Because now I know how to do it. I know how to take white and blue and make green. Duh. Transmuting energy, right? So you are now learning your power. We all have this ability, my friends. Our brain is just the most. Okay, when they talk about the Trinity, on the physical level, you have what? The God, Son, the Holy Spirit, right? In the physical sense, I really think that you have the Trinity going on in you because you got the brain, the Godhead, right? Then you got your heart, right? What is that? That's the Son, Jesus Christ, right? And the Holy Spirit, that's your soul. That is your your emotions. That's your nervous system. It's three separate entities within us physically that are three separate entities spiritually. Okay. So when you start connecting all these dots, shit makes sense. Shit really lights up for you, right? You really start understanding things. And then when you start putting out these things that people throw these speed bumps and hiccups in your way, you have a choice. Just like when you stub your toe, you have that choice. Do I thrash my house or do I go and create this magnificent painting that's Picasso? I like it. Yeah, right? You have that choice. Do I press this button, take the red pill, and go down that rabbit hole? Because when you do that, you have now an assignment. We speak of the 144,000, the chosen, right? Everybody is chosen in this whole entire, from birth 1,000,000 years ago to birth now, yesterday, right? Everybody has a chosen elect here on this planet, meaning you have a mission to do. Just it's going to take you a minute because Earth is just, it's the class. Earth is the classroom, okay? To what? To get you on your mission, to do your assignment, right? This is homework. Homework. It's down at home. Planet Earth is our home, okay? So when you get connected by trauma, by pain, by addictions, by people's nasty, greedy, whatever's, narcissistic ways, there's a whole list of it. You have that switch, right? Some people's switches get turned on by itself. You've had too much, you've taken too much. God flips that switch on for you because he says you are ready, because you've been punched in the face, you've been kicked in the gut, you had your legs broken, your damn neck was snapped, all these things, and you still kept going. So you are now proving your validity that you can handle these kind of things. Okay. So when you get snapped into it, I call it death by a million, 18 inches down your mouth. Whoa. I just kind of walked into that sunshine. I'm not really understanding what that is, but we'll just leave it right there. Yeah. Yeah. So getting connected with yourself is very important. Okay. So when I started seeing the things beyond the veil, meaning seeing the truth for what it is, because the reality is always in front of you. They always tell us what is going on before they do it. Before they do it, they will tell you. That's why it's in movies, in music, and all this other crap. And people are like, after the fact, they're like, oh, did you hear that song? It sounded like you're talking about this. And it's like, well, yeah, that's what they were. Great. That's good for you. I'm glad that you can assess the situation and understand the problem. But what are you doing to fix it? Oh, you're being that ostrich and burying your head in the sand? Sure, go right ahead. Me? No. I'm going to hear it. I'm going to see it. And I'm going to have a certain feeling about it. And if that certain feeling doesn't work with what is being said, then I think that feeling is what you put out. And they don't like that because that is like coinciding with what? Your own belief and not their plan? True. So when they start hearing you say things about the truth, people that are throwing these speed bumps and nets to catch you and all this other stuff, they're going to just watch you. Okay? Because that could have just been a random moment that you had a quick glitch and you caught on real fast. And they're going to see. So for the ones that are in tune, they keep going. So they're going to watch you more and watch you more. It's, oh, well, look at this. Look at what he's talking about. How did this person know this shit, right? How do they know what we're doing? How do they put 2 and 2 together, right? And I suck at math. I straight up do. Did you like that, Sunshine? Right? I just came up with that. It just came right to me, right, as I was talking it. Yeah. Enchilada verde. Don't be getting me on that food. I'm going to try to make some kind of Mexican spaghetti. I'm just saying. Right. Okay. So I'm tired of this shit, dude. Straight up. Okay. There's so much corruption in this. I wouldn't say in the world. I would just say like where we are on our continent, right? That it's all about this. Okay. Like, let me just give you an example. Okay. Google does analytics, right? And I can see where their justification is for some of that because why? They got to do the ads. So if you're monetized on your channel, for an example, well, they have to certain, and you have your your what are they? Personal results turned on. So whatever you're searching, whatever you're doing online, Google is seeing some of that information, and they're going to take that and they're going to send it to the advertisers. So then the advertisers pitch to you 1,000 ads of you watching some kind of beauty product, right? Retarded, but that's what they do. But they take it too far. Google, you don't need to be looking at my bank account app. When I'm going through my app on my bank, you don't need to be there. You don't need to be in my Yahoo mail because you Google, right? So there's certain drawing of the lines that I don't like. I'll let you do some of that shit, but if you're going to cross into the boundaries of now, you're tapping into the actual app that I use to edit my videos, and when I'm going to make some writing in it, and you're going to sit there and you're going to change the letters on me when I'm putting in a B, you're putting in a Q. Those two letters are far off the alphabet on the keyboard. So it's not a mistake. So when I'm doing that and you're fighting me back and forth with that shit, you don't think that I know? So now you don't think I'm going to say something about it? And then when I'm going to say something about it, what? Now I'm exposing this truth? And you're going to shut me down because you don't want other people to know what you're doing behind our backs? Like, unreal. It's unreal. But that doesn't stop me. No, if I got to tell you something that you don't know, that I think that you should know, I should have that very right to speak that to you, especially on this platform as the healing person that I am. Because I'm not only just researching truth and wisdom, but I've lived it. I've experienced it. I know. So all my shit comes from experience, and that truth you cannot deny. Okay? So this kind of system we got working now, where it just seems like nobody gives a shit, right? Oh, let's just spend $1 billion on this, and let's do this, and let's do that, and everybody's just like, da 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 da. Why do I pay so much gas? Da 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 da. Why is food so expensive? Well, it takes a couple people to say, well, now we're figuring it out why. Okay, because you got all that stupid stimulus money, and then like free college money and shit. You don't have to pay your student loans off back, and now it's like we're in debt even more. So then, how are they going to collect that money to get it back? Through your gas, through your food, through all this, through all that, through all this, through all that. And people are like, duh, I don't understand. They only paid you to stay in your house. That whole COVID thing, man, I don't even give a shit about speaking that truth on here. COVID, I just heard, researched that now an Indian doctors had found out that in the COVID shot, there are trace elements of HIV in that shit. Not only there's metals and mercuries when people had the shot, they put a magnet to their arm and it stuck to that bitch. Now they're putting the HIV in there. European doctors were like, we don't want your COVID shot because why? It is killing our people. It's destroying the blood cells. It is engineering the messaging, which is through the shot, which is whatever's in the shot is the message. It's going into your DNA, and now it's telling your DNA to now stop making what you're making. Now you got to make these. And now it's replicating the virus over and over and over. And guess what? They just found out that there was an illegal lab in California. That was a Chinese lab. Dr. Fauci and Obama were up in that shit in China. You kidding me? They all need to be lynched, hung for treason, crimes against humanity, because it's all they have been doing, especially Bill Gates. Bill Gates, stop buying our land, okay? Stop trying to make this whack shit to go over our vegetables. Stop killing off all our meat products so then you can what? Make your little weird scientific like shots to put it in the food? Because if people don't want to get the shot, you're going to put it in them with the food? This is blasphemy. This is treason. These people need to be hung because Obama, Bill Gates, Michelle Obama, they're all friends when they were little. So they're all cohorts. They're all collaborating together for the demise of our free society. And they got a puppet clown up in there like that. Who do you think is really running the presidency now? The dude on the island with his wife, who's not really a wife, she's a man. I don't care what you say. Michelle Obama is a man. Test me on that. Go look at the science. There's ways to tell about a man on their fingers and their hands. The length of their shoulders. It takes a woman 2 heads to equal her shoulder length. It takes a man 3 heads to equal his shoulder width. Look at that shit. This is the truth that I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I bring it raw and uncut. I suck at math too, really. Well, I took pre-algebra twice. Good. Sunshine, I didn't either. I didn't really either. I was like, nope, I'm good. I don't give a shit. You know what? It's just the flu. And if you looked on the CDC's website, they show you a whole list of diseases from the number one, heart attacks and, all this other stuff. COVID was below like measles and mumps. Can't stop. So people, if you're not waking up, you got to understand that these people are really, really trying to devastate us in a way, because why? They're so flagrant in their ego, because we're little peasants to them. They have so much money that your life isn't worth shit to them but a joke. So that's why they're playing all these little games that they do. But they don't realize they're testing the ones that are ready to fight. Fight for the truth and the knowledge and to preserve us. You think I want AI running around this bitch? It might be fun for a minute to change your face into like a Mortal Kombat, whatever they do. AI is the devil, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. You really want to see the world transform? When they start implementing more of this AI stuff, it's just going to be out of this world. Meaning, if we're having a hard time trying to get everybody to get a job and be happy, now when you put robots in, they're doing the job of you. So now you don't have a job. What are you going to do? That the robot now has your job? Duh. You don't think that the sun throws out these solar flares, which are electromagnetic pulses that radiate off the sun, that throw these pulses towards the earth, which actually interfere with our electrical grid? Canada had a wipeout in the 95. Don't quote me on that, but Canada did have a blackout. New York had a big old blackout, right? Don't say it's because everybody's running their electricity. That's bullshit. It's because of the electromagnetic pulses that come in and shock out the system. So now guess what? Let's put everybody on electrical. Wi-Fi, your cell phone. Let's get the robots going. Let's turn the banking system into online. What happens if something goes down with the grid and you can't get it back turned on? No money, no food, nobody working, nobody selling nothing, nobody doing anything but freaking the frig out. Now everybody's going to start going against each other. Because then you got the creative ones being like, well, I got a generator and I can rig this up and I get my house and I got my refrigerator still cold. Then you got your neighbors over there hating because why? They don't have electricity. And now they're going to be coming after yours, and now you're going to fight. You see how they're doing it? They're pitting each other on us to fight with each other. And it's all a game to them. EMPs, yes, electromagnetic pulse. And I bet you that's what happened to my car today. Okay. I got a I got a 2021 Bronco, right? Went to the dealership. I'm not bragging, just telling you a story, right? Went to the dealership, said, I want this truck. They said, you got to order it from the factory. I did. They made it for me. Boom, boom, boom. How I want it. Boom, I got it, right? 2 years I have. Well, it's going to be 21, 22, 23, right? 2 years right now, right? I got like maybe 11,000 miles on it. 11,000 miles on a vehicle in 2 years. Most people drive 11,000 miles in 6 months. So I baby this biatch, right? Seriously, really, right? So all of a sudden, yesterday I get in the car and I go to the mailbox. Everything's fine. Boom, 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 right? So this morning I woke up. Right. It was after yesterday, made a couple of little videos, right? This morning I wake up, I'm out of creamer. I got to go get some creamer for the coffee. So I'm not making coffee. I'm just going to go get it at the store. I get in my truck, drive down the street. I get to the main intersection where I got to go turn and get the coffee. And my car shuts off dead. Boom, dead, right in the middle of the road. So now I'm like, what the hell? No electronics, none at all. Pushing the button. I mean, the battery wasn't that dead where the lights weren't coming on inside the vehicle or the radio or the dash weren't lighting up. Dead in the middle of the road. So I had to get out and flag people around. Go away from me. I'm pissed off. Now I'm trying to call my bank for my insurance to get through to get them to tow me. And every time I was trying to call, that bitch wasn't working. It wasn't going through. So thank God there was a cop that pulled up to me, shook my hand and everything, was like, what's going on? I'm like, I'm stuck like Chuck. Feels like I got blasted with an EMP because I'm not getting any power whatsoever in my vehicle. So then I had to politely ask him if he has to jump. He grabs the cables. We jump the car. It starts up after about 10 times of trying. Finally, he gets the juice, and now he's just try to drive it home. I started driving home, probably like halfway there, which was only like a 5-minute drive. It shut off twice as I'm driving. So I don't know. I've been a mechanic all my life. I understand if you have a dead battery, you get it jumped. As soon as you get it jumped, that juice from that battery goes to the alternator. The alternator spins because it has copper coils in there to start making an electromagnetic field, right, which is charging, right, up that energy. And then it's going to push it back into the battery, filling the battery back up. That did not happen in my case. That bitch was dead. I barely made it in the driveway. Then I had my insurance come out. Check this out. This is how they mess with you, dude. Okay, so not only did the car shut off, and then the phones weren't working right. So then now I'm at home. I finally get on the other phone, and I get the insurance people to come out here. They went to the wrong address, the block over. So they call me. They're like, we're here. I'm like, where are you? Are you serious? Before that, they would text me and say, we're 2 hours out. Okay, that's fine. I'm home. It's in the driveway. I'm good. 2 hours out. Then I get a text message say we're 40 minutes away, which was only 10 minutes after the 2-hour notification. So when they say they're 40 minutes out, my insurance texted me and said, revised on the time, they're 65 minutes out. Then the tow truck people texted again and said, we're 15 minutes out. My bank people texted and said, revised time, 65 minutes. So you see how they're playing with the whole mind game of, is it 65 minutes you're going to be here or is it 15? Because when you finally got here, you're to the wrong address. So if I didn't call you to say, where are you? Because you say you're here, you're not in front of my house. You say we're here and we're at this address. And I'm like, you're at the wrong address. And let me get this right. If you're coming from my insurance, who has my address, because they have to base off my principal, how much I pay for my insurance, off my address, then I think that my bank is going to, or my insurance company is going to tell you tow truck driver the correct address of where the fuck I live. But then you're going to say you're here in front of my house. So then I'm going to get all frustrated because why? It was 2 hours, 65 minutes, 15 minutes, 65. Now you're across the street. Nah, bitch. Go around the street. Go around the corner. This is my house. I'll be standing there flagging your ass down. Come on in. They get there. Boom. Jump. Try to jump it. Boom. It starts. Try to idle it. Let it go. They take off. And the thing dies again. So I was like, you know what? I got to do laundry. I got to go back to my other place, clean out some things. You know what I mean? Hit up the grocery store. But now these jerk-offs screwed me all day long for half of the day. And now I don't have a vehicle to go do anything. And I'm probably going to have to get a factory battery because I have to. Because if you get a manufacturer vehicle, a third party's part, sometimes it can void your warranty because it doesn't handle all the necessary capabilities for all the sensors and shit, right? So I'm like, great. Now it's going to be like $500 for a new fucking battery for this thing. Oh my God. I just bought a house. What am I going to do? Oh my God. I'm talking to the dealership and I know I have a warranty. Plus I have the Ford Premium service warranty. So when I go to the dealership, I don't pay shit for repairs because it's under the contract that I pay, right? So I'm like, I can't even deal with this shit. So when you're talking about paying, oh, now I don't have a car. Now I can't go grocery shopping. I need some food. I got to do some laundry. I'm stressing out. What did I do? Oh, the dealership. You can't come and pick me up because now you're going to tell me that you can't touch my vehicle until the 26th of September. Do you know what day it is right now? Hey, service guy, do you know what day it is right now? The 12th of September. And you're telling me you can't touch my vehicle until the 26th of September? Either one, you need to be fired. For two, you need to hire more employees. For three, you better stop bullshitting me. So with all that turmoil going on today, I was like, no way, Jose. You ain't getting me for $500 to get a new battery, to sit here and wait to see if I get a tow truck, to drop it off at your dealership and wait over 2 weeks before you can even look at it. And then you're going to tell me, oh, all your rental cars that you have are all listed out. So then I can't even get a rental from your punk asses? Bitches, you ain't going to stop me. So you know what I did? I got on Amazon and was like, I need a car charger. A trickled down car charger. Thank you, $26. That bitch will be here tomorrow. I'll get my car running and y'all can go to hell. That is transmuting that energy. Because I could have sat here. I could have been depressed. I could have been like, what am I going to do? See, these are some spells they put on you. They put the worry spells on you, the confusion spells. All these things just racked on me today, and I could have been just sitting here in a flurry and been like, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's when people have that chance, that moment to do something. Transmute that energy. So you can bury your head in the sand. You can wait for that dealership to call you, which they never did. They said, oh, we'll call you back to verify your warranty. Well, I said, dude, I have the extended warranty. But then when I looked on the app, I have the Ford Premium warranty on top of that. And you knew this, but you didn't call me back because you knew we had to do the right thing. You never even called me. So you guys suck. But I got myself, right? I got Amazon. Thank God for Amazon. One day delivery, boom. I'd love to see the drone come in and drop my package off, right? That'd be pretty cool. So people, my friends, my family, listen, you all got to really take that kind of, right? You got to turn it around and give it back. This is why when we say in the tarot, return to sender, it's not a joke. You really do return it to sender. Hey, your bullshit ain't mine. You can have it back by transmuting it into something better. Like, I'm going to do this myself. You can't tell me. You can't even look at my car. I'm not going to spend $500, $600 on a battery that I know that I have the extended warranty, the Ford Premium, then you're going to pay for the battery. And you all know this shit because where the town that I came from was such a corrupt Mason, corrupted child, fucking kidnapping, drug dealing, drug manufacturing, fucking disgusting, corrupt cops town that I had to really kick my ass to either take it or then get out and buy the house that I am in now. And with the praise of God, that's all happened. But you have to put that energy into motion, people. You really do. An apple? I'm not sure. Is there an apple on my neck? I don't know. Might be. Sometimes my veins get all popped out, whatever. I don't even know what you're talking about. In the process now. Oh boy. Yeah, you guys are really kicking it up, huh? Love it. Love it. Okay, so oh, I definitely smudged. I mean, Michelle, I smudged. I mean, I smudge. I pray. You know, I have a lot of like negative energy clearing techniques that I perform, right? And sometimes when I think everything's good, right, my dog, right, she will alert me to know that there's some fucking freaky shit going on, straight up. Because if I'm in here and we're just chilling, and all of a sudden she gets up and she leaves, and she won't want to come back in this room, I know that there's some kind of negative energy being set my way, right? Because dogs know this stuff. I really do. I really, really do. Kentucky, is that where you're at now, Sunshine, in Kentucky? Hey, that's not far from Texas. Yeah. So it's like this. When you start getting tapped in and you start getting aware of things, it's like, how could you not do something with it? How could you not change that, right? If you know that you seen your neighbor beat their kid in their front yard, how could you not be that person as a parent to say, what the hell is your problem? Oh, because they might beat you up for it, to mind your own business, right? Something like that. Oh, you're still in Boston? Where are you going to go? Oh, you're going to Kentucky? Or did I miss something about Kentucky? Yeah. Anyways, you got to say something. Leo King. Oh, thank you. There you go. All right. Well, Kentucky's a nice place. A little moist in the summertime, but it'd be all right, right? Just like Massachusetts is really moist in the summertime as well. But, you know, hey, it depends on how you like to be moist, I guess. Yeah, but Kentucky's a nice place, right? That's where they got the government weed crops going on. Straight up. I think there's like three major ones, one in Tennessee, one in Kentucky, right? Yeah. I'm just going off side of the camera real quick because, like I said, we had little chitlins on here, the little ones growing up, so I don't want to see them all, practicing habits. Yeah, they don't need to. The legislation. We're going to talk about that, parental rights. Ooh, don't get me going on that. All right, check this out. In the state of Massachusetts, according to their law, because I went to college for criminal justice, right? So I know the law pretty well, okay? So I read the laws in Massachusetts. The Massachusetts says like this. If you are married and you have a child that you're paying child support for, your child support ends at 18. But according to the law, if you are unmarried and you have a child that you're paying child support for, that child support goes till they're 21. So I'm in both scenarios, okay? I have two different baby mamas. One, I had some Bacardi goggles on, right? And then I had my first child. She was great. She's fantastic, right? But unmarried, okay? So then I get married and have two more kids. And so now when I'm paying the child support, I'm like, okay, it's 18, right? Boom. When are you going to shut the shit off? So I call them and they're like, oh, Well, now you have to have it a court order to say from the judge that you need to have it turned off at 18. And I'm like, well, your fucking law says it's 18 married, 21 unmarried. So what are we doing here? Jerking me off? Probably so, but I don't like it because I'm not feeling good about it. Right? Yep. Well, domestic issues, sure. But, I went through some domestic abuse. I'm going to tell you, right? I'm a man. I'm a military man, combat veteran, went through domestic violence. Like she put her hands on me, but then had her little sweet smile to lie to the cops to get me arrested. But see, they're so stupid that they didn't do their procedures right. If I know the law, well, then I'm going to get it all dismissed because you didn't read me my rights. You didn't do this. You didn't do that. You didn't even take a fucking statement, right? You just want to come out of the house and say you want to beat your wife. Well, in this case, maybe I should have, but see, I didn't. So now all your little bullshit, I go to court on a Friday. I go to jail on a Friday. I think I'm in for the weekend. Now it's 3:00. The judge goes, let me see this guy. I go to the judge. He goes, hey, you know what? Go home. Right? So then I get a free lawyer, and I tell this lawyer, listen, you get the 911 tapes because I'm the one calling 911. You hear my voice on there pleading, begging for her to quit, and you bring some help. Right? So men do get abused. Okay? And I don't knock me for being nice. Okay? Because if you do, I'm not going to be so nice. Okay? So because this woman was beating on me, combat veteran 2 times, right? She's the mother of my children. If I would have gave her one of these, I think it would have went right through her fucking skull. And I would have been in jail for the rest of my life. So why am I going to play that game, even though I was feeling that emotion during the moment of the heat? No. Transmuting that energy, my friends. So what I do, I serve it right back to her ass. Boom, case dismissed, you're done. It's not even going to float. But you know what really pissed me off? Nothing happened to her with her false accusations. Her false statements, her lies, her bullshit, not only to the police, but to the court. Nobody said shit and said, you're wrong, you're getting your ass hemmed up. But if the dude was making false statements and all this shit, straight we're going to jail. And that's the bullshit that I'm talking about that needs to be changed. It needs to be switched up. I'm sorry about that, Sunshine. It's kind of rough. It is. Well, electricity can be pretty useful. I'll tell you that, Michelle. Sure. Right. So, yeah, men do go through domestic violence, right? My ex is a straight narcissist, right? Straight narcissist. I go to visit my daughter, vacation for summer vacation. She was graduating high school. I get there, and no washer and dryer or no washing machine. And I just gave her a big lump sum of money for some child support, like 10 grand. And you couldn't buy a washing machine or a wash machine. So now I'm going to drive my kid to school looking at her wearing the same dirty clothes 2 days in a row. And you have all this money and you can't go buy a wash machine? Bullshit. I got all over her ass about it. Meaning, let's go and get one right now today. Right? And she wouldn't even want to pay for it. So it's like, fine. These kids need it. I'm not paying the whole thing. I'll go halves on you. I made her pay half, at least half. Are you serious? You have all this money that I just gave you in a big old lump sum. And you can't go get a washing machine to keep your own clothes clean because now you have 2 baskets of clothes dirty in your room, and the girls have 2 or 3 dirty baskets in their room, and you're sitting there going to the casino, jerking off with my child support money. Can with you. So instead of getting mad at her and having no solution, I had to transmute that energy and take it into, we're going to fix it and get a wash machine. And we did. Damn right. Got it. Well, yes, of course. I mean, anybody would be upset. Straight to the truth. How could you not? Especially, when they're the caregiver and you're paying money for them to take care of your children and they're not. But then you go and try to handle it with the system, and the system bucks you around with their little, oh, you know why we really keep your money in a little piggy bank? So we can collect interest off that. And that's how we pay our employees off your money. I can't with your foul ways. So I just chop it down and I remind them of this shit. And somehow I pay the child support, but they send me money back. So I'm getting child support back. How do you like that? Right? So that's what we got to do. That's how you got to do it. That is why recognizing your own emotions, to be able to think logically in that emotional state, to now transform that energy into something positive, is where we need to go. Because we are dealing with a lot of negativity in this world that people just let it go, and they let it go, and they let it go. And then they get sour, and then they get more negative. And now they're on that team because they're so far deep they can't change it. And there's only a few people that like to stand up and say some things, despite any of the consequences. And those people are your foundations. Those are the people. Those are the Martin Luther King peoples. If you really look at Malcolm X, people are like, oh no, Malcolm X, he's a racist. Da, da, da. Really look at some of his shit, man. He's not. Talking about same shit Martin Luther King was. Respect, freedom for everybody, right? The elites, I don't care, man. I don't really care. It's just your money that pulls you into your ego, straight up, right? And then you do all these nasty things to people, right? If you're so rich, right? If we got such a deficit, right? National deficit, meaning the money we owe to other countries. How come we just can't solve it with taking like Brad Pitt and Oprah Winfrey and all these really rich people like Bill Gates, right? And then just all jump in together for the sake of humanity in their God-loving country, the United States, and throw in, right? Throw in your ante, right? It would only take like 6 actors to pay off all this shit. They just want us to suffer. You know why they want us to suffer? Because those are the narcissistic people that we call energy vampires, and they drain you. They keep you in a state of fear, keep you in a state of worry, panic, anxiety, so that when they come up with some bullshit of, we can save the planet, and they give us a scam idea, you're going to go for it. And you're going to jump right on the bandwagon. And then you're going to realize afterwards, oh, I should have never got the shot because it didn't even make fucking sense why I got the shot, because now I'm sicker with the shot than I am without it. So, yeah. What do you think about that? I think it's time that there has to be some big changes. Some big changes. Because I don't care who you are. Christopher Columbus did not discover America first. Why hasn't that been changed? Right? We know the Vikings were here. We know the Chinese were here. We know, let's change it. People are afraid to change. Do you change your underwear every day? Are you afraid to change your underwear every day? I don't think so. So if we start looking at some of these issues like our underwear, well, they need to be changed, I think, right? Because I don't want to smell your funk. Nobody else does either. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're doing. We're all just smelling funk. Egg donor. Yes. Oh, Jesus. So I'm all about change. Okay. And it's time. It's time because it's getting worse and worse and worse, right? There's limited control that we have as an individual, okay? But there's maximum control that we have as a group, as a group, as a collective, as a whole unit of people, okay? And it just takes a few people to say the right few words to have people start jumping on board, which means I understand. Uh, Sorry about that, darling. Yeah, they're on crack. Hey, you know what? You got to know the devil to fight him. That's all I'm going to say, right? So it's like to me, when I was in the military, right? I was enlisted. So that means we did all the work. We're all the grunts, right? And then you had the officers that were the ones that were from the universities, had the college degrees, that made all the plans. But they never got their fucking hands dirty, right? So when you got to know the devil to fight the devil, you, officer, who only knows the book, doesn't know the street language. So you can't tell me what this needs to be like in your metaphysical reading the book world, because I got my hands dirty from doing it. So you're going to listen to me because I not only got my hands dirty, but I read your book too. So that means I know how to do it more than you. And because you think you came from this university and you're the officer side, that you can run the shit. No, 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 no. I'm going to tell you how it's going to go because this is how I know it's to be and how it's going to work. So I need this and I need that and I need this and I need that. You got it, sir? Right. So when you have the truth and the facts, there's no way people can get around it. So either you're on board with that or you bury your head. And everybody's burying their head. And it's disgusting. Well, I take it back. Not everybody. Not everybody. Majority. That might be broken down to now the 144,000 that are aware of the truth and want to do something about it. You know? Because everybody's afraid. I'm afraid. I'm afraid you're going to shut off my internet. I talk too much trash. You're going to shut me down. Well, have you not done that before? Of course you have. But have I not kept coming at y'all, finding different ways around your roadblocks? Of course. Because there's a mission here. And when that president got on the TV and said, there's a fight for the soul of America, it made my whole body cringe. Because looking in his little reptilian fake ass eyeballs, it made me think that this person was really talking about the devil's work, trying to get the soul, because that's all the devil does is try to take you away from God. And the mockery that these people allow to be put out there against God is disgusting. And when I did that video yesterday about you want to mock God, you will see his wrath. Today, my vehicle got shut down. My phone didn't work. Because they know they're mocking God. And when I'm going to say you're mocking God and you're going to get your ass handed to you, they know this. It might not be today, but it's going to happen because it's when he's ready. He's got to get that pot of shit stirred a little bit more for them just to light that match. And they know this. Simplicity. There's nothing simple in life. I mean, I guess the automatic sense of us where we have our system that makes us breathe without having to think to breathe, that's probably the simplest part of our lives. Straight up. It really is. Do not be deceived. God ain't mocked. Really? So you tell me Drake ain't talking about shutting some shit down with God? You don't think that Rihanna was talking bad? You don't think that all these other rappers that get up on there in their devil costumes and their little rituals they perform at your Super Bowls and your Grammys and all that shit. You don't think they're mocking God? Unbelievable. He is mocked every day by these people. And if you don't see it, well, then maybe you need to hear people like me a little bit more, or other people that bring this awareness to people, because people are blinded by the pyrotechnics on the stage or the actual vibrations of the bass and the music to not have you hear the message. But the costumes are blatant. Why would you come on stage in a devil outfit, dressed as the devil? I can't. I just can't. Oh no! His wrath is definitely coming, and they try to, but it's it's your intent. If your heart is there, it's going to show in the outside world. So if you were against God and you signed your little contract with the devil, well, then you're going to have to perform your duties for him. So you're going to have to go out on stage and dress like the devil just to show everybody who you're working for. So there is a misconception with some of this too, okay? People do think this is what it is because this is what they've been programmed to understand. But if you understand the deeper aspects of spirituality, there are different hand gestures that can signal certain energies, okay? Certain energies, not in a negative sense, in a positive sense, because this is your electrical outlet, right? So this is your cord, right? So one of your hand signals is your cord, and the other hand is your phone. So when you connect those different symbols, now you're plugging in the juice, baby. Okay? That's a true story. Goes in line with the mantras, speaking certain words as the mantra. Why? Because it has a vibrational sound that comes out on a frequency level that now radiates on this kind of energetic platform, this energetic level. Okay. That's why when you do your chakra alignments, there are mantras that you're supposed to practice saying, but they're just words. Okay. So, like for your, I might be wrong, but I think your crown chakra, when you say Om, Om, when you do it in the right way, that vibration is actually opening that crown chakra. That's the learning of your chakras. There's 7 chakras. There's 7 different little whatever, to help that vibration open it up, because everything's on a vibration. Your crown chakra, your heart chakra, all these chakras are in line. So then when you hear these sounds, it vibrates that part of you, right? And then that's what makes you work on it and open it up, or however, right? It's another class. But seriously, it is true. So some of those hand signals are legit and some aren't, straight up, right? But it's the knowing part that really helps. So when you understand that truth, you can't deny the facts. So then you're supposed to implement those kind of things. You're supposed to use those kind of things for the betterment of things, right? And it's difficult these days because we have so much going on, so many problems, so many things, that it's hard to not want to be selfish and just protect yourself, and put yourself away, so that way things that are happening not to you just happen, and as long as it's not affecting you, then you should be okay with it. And I can't swallow that idea. If something bad's happened to somebody down the street, And I'm feeling that nudge. I got to go run down the street and see what the hell is going on, because that person might need my help. Come here, babies. She's my baby girl. Come here. Come here, babies. Come up here. Come here, doggy. She's my baby girl. Hi. She's tired. That's a good girl. Come on, the Blanky. Yeah. So okay. So, you guys have anything you want to say? Well, you guys really chatted up a lot. Specifically topics. Any specific topics? Like seriously, our political system is trash. Straight trash. It always has been from the start, right? It's con. It really is. We're all in a Ponzi scheme. Okay, I was going to say this. I'm sure that you've heard that the reserve of the feds is a private institution that regulates the banking systems, right? But that's not the truth. They're not a private institution. They're part of the government. Did you know that? The Federal Reserve is part of the government, because I think it was like in the 30s. Don't quote me on this, but back in the day, our banks were going down, right? And then there was like a collapse. So then I think it was Roosevelt at the time and a couple other influential people that had money decided to pull together. Woodrow Wilson, thank you. Pulled together to collaborate their money to help out the other banks. So now they're enacting this Federal Reserve, which is actually in the Constitution as an amendment. And this Federal Reserve is only to give banks loans to carry on their banking, not to take over the whole entire system, but only to be incorporated as a backup to support the little banks. So when the little banks are running out of money, they go to the reserve to get more money. That's it. Not for the reserve to control the whole system and say, now we're raising the rates, we're doing this, we're doing that. And then the government gets on there and says, oh, well, the Fed's are going to raise the rates. We have no control. Bullshit, because it's in the Constitution as amendment that this Federal Reserve is only backup to support the little banks and give the little banks loans. Tell me I'm lying. Right. So now we're all trapped in that shit, right? Because no one knows any better. When they do, they don't want to say nothing because, oh, you're going to mess with my money. Well, mess with my money. I don't give a shit. Mess with my electricity, mess with my wires, mess with my Wi-Fi, mess with my truck. Y'all done it already, right? I don't care. Because I'll always find a way to bring that truth and those facts to people that need to hear it. Because it's going to take two or more to come together for some shit to really happen. True that. And we need that in our lives now. So, here's my other thing. People are so lazy, dude. So freaking lazy, right? That they let the robots take over and they want the government check, right? They want to be like Canada, be locked down and shit like China. Because you got free health care and then you got a little stimulus check, but you're wondering why. Like, I think it's in Sweden. Maybe Sweden, I think. I think they pay like 85% in taxes. It's like 85% in taxes, but they get free health care, you get free this, free that, free this, right? So is it really free if you got to pay 85% of your taxes? And the whole tax thing is a scheme in itself, right? So check this out, right? You get your paycheck. What do? Boom, they tax it, right? That's the first tax. Then you go out and spend your money on shit you probably don't need. Boom, they tax you again, right? So then what? At the end of the year, you got to claim that money that was already taxed when you first got it. Now they're going to tax it again. You're getting taxed like 3 times for that same money. And it's just like, they're just milking us like a bunch of goats. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, there was a day in the United States where there was no money at all. No money at all. Everything was working off the barter system. Hey, you're a landscaper. Well, good. I'm a hairstylist. You need a haircut? I'll cut your hair if you mow my lawn. Right? Boom. It was working like that for a good while. Okay. So we're getting into the scams of the way the United States is. Did you know that Edison was not the guy that created electricity? It was actually Nikola Tesla that did. But because his idea was so good, because initially Edison created DC current, which is direct current, which is way more stronger, way more dangerous, way more powerful, right? Nikola Tesla was the one that invented alternating current, which didn't send the big juice out to you and then it fries your outlets and kills everybody, whatever. So there was a campaign run by Edison to discredit Tesla as being crazy and wacko because he believed in God, that he ran the campaign and actually stole the idea of AC, alternating current, from Tesla as he's putting him down and being a narcissist to say that what he's crazy, right? And he was even doing his own electricity, DC current, and he was killing animals. He was killing dogs. He killed an elephant, and he was saying that this is Tesla's idea of electricity, which was actually Edison's idea of electricity. Tesla had the better idea, but he pushed it so far like that, and he had his little influence with his money, that he shut him down. And so now he's called the father of electricity. Bullshit. That's like Christopher Columbus is not the first dude to discover America. And we all just live with it. And we don't change nothing about it. No, we got to fix things to make it right. Like the Egyptian government, they know all this stuff that's going on with all this different kind of ancient stuff. Like, do you know why we really went to Iraq? Do you know why I fought in that war? It was because Saddam Hussein found a fucking Stargate, dude. And they also knew where, who was it? Gilgamesh's body was preserved. Like, skin was still there. So what I'm saying is they found, and it's proof because there's been news about Hillary Clinton having an email saying, hey, you better find the location of his tomb, Gilgamesh's tomb. You better confiscate it all. So what do? We run over there as a bully and we push the Iraqis out so then we can go ahead and take that technology and information of the ancient wisdom. Tell me I'm lying. Yeah, well, we had joint custody and then she decided to just lie on me and say that I teach devil worshiping to my children. And then she had me put away for like a whole day. And then she goes and leaves the fucking state. So how much can you really do when your ex takes your kids from you illegally and runs the state? And then has the balls to text you and laugh at you and say, haha, motherfucker, I'm in Tennessee, I'm halfway to Massachusetts. Yeah. Try to get locked up. Right? But nothing ever happened. Like, seriously, where's the retribution for her? Right? You gonna lie and say I'm a devil worshiper? Do I really preach? I mean, y'all know me on my channel. Do I preach any kind of devil worshiping shit? Hell to the no. I mean, look at got a cross right there tattooed on my damn knuckles. I'm the one teaching my kids to sit at the kitchen table to pray about Jesus and give thanks. Where's the devil worshiping in that? Narcissistic behavior. 17 years of that shit. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm done. I'm done being nice. I'm done keeping things to a minimum. I'm done keeping things down to the little chirp. Right now, I'm going full blown, wide open throttle. You know what? The people that we have in power are pieces of shit, and they know it. Maybe if you've seen your own ways and you wanted to do something about it, well, maybe you can become the better person that you really are. But because you are so programmed in your own greed and your own ways, you just want to get stuck with that. And you enjoy that. So now you get off on that shit. Right? That's why they look down on us. That's why Hillary Clinton called us deplorables. Really? Are you deplorable? Am I deplorable? That bitch is. I don't care. Come and get me. Because I know you won't. You can try, but you're going to be stopped before you even get to do what you think you're going to do. You can throw some speed bumps on me and throw my Wi-Fi down. You could do this and you could do that, right? But you ain't coming for me. Because I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. I'm coming to stop you. And I'm building a little team to bring this to a halt. Because it's disgusting what they do with the kids. It's disgusting what they do with us. It's disgusting what they do with the money and they're manipulating and all this circus trick shit that they got going on. And I'm only here to help you say, hey, you see it. You can raise yourself above it. Get in tune. Hear the words. See the reality. That will pull you into wanting to fix some stuff, right? You sure have no problem with going into your school's parking zone and some car cuts you off to pick up your kids from school and you got to yell and you're going to start some shit with that person because they cut you off. Well, where's that energy when it comes to getting ripped off from the biggers, the higher uppers, or any situation that we got to deal with? Where's your motivation for that? Right? So now we're just talking about perspective. Now we're talking about the ostriches putting your head in the sand. Now we're talking about it ain't happening in my house, so I ain't going to worry. One thing leads to another. So if you're going to be affected, the next person's going to be affected. And then the next person's going to be affected. On and on and on and on. So it's time to start speaking this truth. Start saying it. A lot of people are already getting what this called woke. And I don't jive on the word woke, okay? Because they're twisted. It's all a play on words. They like to manipulate things to make things what are true to seem that they're not. And a woke person is just a person that is in more tune with the reality of what they're doing, what they're living in right now. True. Okay. So when you speak of the facts like that, that's woke. Okay. So now you're going to be a terrorist. Now you're going to be a domestic terrorist. Now you're a problem. Why? Because I'm speaking the truth about some shit that you knew you're doing wrong. But you know that if I'm doing wrong, you're going to jump my shit because that's what you're supposed to do. So how am I not going to jump your shit if you're doing something wrong when you're going to jump my shit if I'm doing something wrong? Hurting people. Taking people, manipulating from people, right? It's not right. So, well, that's fantastic, Michelle. Then, you don't have anything to really worry about. But that's kind of a condescending remark because the whole idea was, you got to change your underwear. So what are you afraid of change? Because you do change your underwear, right? So then you're not afraid to change your underwear. So that's kind of like a little snarky, right? No offense, darling. I'm just saying. I call it out as what it is. But it's time that we really need to switch some things up because there's a lot of things that are just going on that should not be. And we need to switch those back. We need to change them around. Oh, it died? You got to charge back on. I'm glad you're here now again, sunshine. Right. So yeah. 1 + 1 is 2, no matter which way you look at it. If you look at 1 over here on the left, plus 1 on the right, it's still 2. You look at 1 on the right, plus the 1 on the left, it's 2. No matter which way you look at it, it's still the same. A scam is a scam, no matter what. Right? I spoke on this before with like Google, right? I was like, listen, it's cool that you have like this two-step verification process, right? But if you're going to make me put my phone number in there and somebody hacks my Google account, well, now they have my phone number. So now they're going to fucking spam my phone, right? and they're going to clone my phone. So now every time I got to go change my password on Google and get the notification to the phone, my phone's cloned, they're going to get it too. So now every time I change my password, they're going to know what my freaking password is. So it's a never ending cycle. It's like me, dog chasing his tail. So what do you do with that? You speak the truth about it like I did. And now all of a sudden, Google implemented security where it's called the passkey, which means you set up that device that you're using to put in your password. And that's the only way that you could put in your password is with that one single device. I use my fingerprint. Thank you. There's no way to get in past that unless you come to my house, put your finger on my shit. And if your finger don't match mine, well, then it don't work. I give you a sleazy little spouse, and when I'm sleeping, you can take my finger and put it on my phone and then get into that shit. But you need to go, right? If you got to go that far, you need to go. And that's what we've been doing. We've been going that far. So it takes a mouth with the vibration of the truth and the facts to put it out in the universe to change something. Whether it's tomorrow, 6 years from now, it's all in divine timing, okay? So when it's loud enough and strong enough, then it comes to fruition. That's why I got to tell you guys, be careful with what you say. Because one, words are curses, words are spells. Why do you think people are so trapped in the music industry? Because of the words that are being said, putting spells over you, and now you're trapped. And then you like some of this shit and you don't know why. But if you stopped and read the lyrics without hearing it, then it would change your mind completely and you'd be disgusted. And there's no artistry in that. Yeah, brother from another mother. I might be. I mean, technically, you are my sister. You know what I mean? Technically, in God's eyes, you are my sister. Right? That's how it's supposed to work. Broadcasting. Demons. Oh, geez. Yeah, exactly, dude. They do that, sunshine. Straight up, broadcasting the demons, putting them right out in your face. And people are like, oh, that's so cool. This person's so cool. Is it? No. They're just pre-programming you. So here's my other problem. We had this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing going on, right? Totally disgusting. You know, it just burns my ass. And there was a list of people, and Bill Gates, your fucking punk ass was on there because you went to that island, diddling little kids, torturing them, doing whatever they did over there. You know you were over there. Same with the Clintons and shit and all these other people that went over to this place. Nothing ever happened to those people. There's no justice. Not for us as a society, but for the people that had those children that suffered. And there was only one person that was trying to do something about it. But now he's got all these indictments and shit, right? And they don't want him to be president again because they know if he does become president, well, then he's going to take all these pus nuggets right out like he was already starting to do, right? Do you remember the Pope that just retired? The Pope before this one, right? Yeah, I remember him just like retiring all of a sudden. He's like, I'm just going to give up my Pope ship, right? I don't want to be a Pope anymore. Bullshit, right? This motherfucker got arrested from the country of Belgium, arrested on crimes of humanity. I mean, this was on their site, on their shit. This is their words. So you try to dig it out, and guess what? You might find minimal evidence about it because you know why? This place called Goggle suppresses all that information. So you're not going to find it so much, but you know what? When it's there one time, for one person to see it and get that facts, straight up, dude. Bye-bye. See you later. So let's talk about that, right? If this Catholicism is so godly, why through their whole entire existence have they killed and maimed and tortured people that had a different belief. That's not so godly, is it? Is it? Is it so godly to have priests diddling little kids? Their ushers and their choir boys and all that shit, right? Is that so godly, right? Let's talk about the idols they got going on, right? I don't know about all these saints. They have all these statues, right? Even Jesus Christ says, "Why are you praying to me? I'm not the one you should be praying to. You're misleading yourself. You're praying to Mary, the statue. You're praying to Saint Joseph and Paul and all these other statues. No, dude, you are idol worshiping. You don't pray to the cross. You don't pray to the statue of Mary. Shame, shame." And Jesus was talking about, no one goes through the Father but through me. He wasn't talking about you gotta pray to me like you do in the religion, where then you gotta go to your priest and say, "I committed a crime and I need to be resolved to that." And he says, "Say 10 Hail Marys and go jack off and you're good." Right? That's a bunch of bullshit. What Jesus is saying in that parable is you have to be the way of Jesus. That means you have to be a good person with a good heart, with good intent. That is becoming the way of Jesus. And that's the only way to get to God. God's not going to allow you in his crib if your feet are dirty. Clean them off. Then you might be able to walk in. That's what Jesus is talking about. You're not talking about pray to me and let me be your priest so that you can only pray to Jesus, and then you get Jesus going to relay the messages to him, to God. No. Clean your ways up. Be one with yourself. Jesus was gone for a long time. He was in India. He was talking to the Buddhist monks. He was in Egypt. He was all over the place, learning all about these different spiritualities, these different religions, putting it together. Only pray to God. That's it. Pray to God. You don't have to pray to Jesus to get the relay. There's no relay. But believe in Jesus because he was the Son of God that did die on the cross. And my heart bleeds for that shit every time I see something that's like that. I cry every time damn any of the crucifixion comes on. Because it's a real deal. But that's not what Jesus is saying when he says, "Go through me." Nobody can get to the Father but through me. He's not saying pray to me. He's saying you need to be in that Christ consciousness. Have your feet clean with your heart, true intent, because hearts are weighed against a feather. And that's going way back to Egyptian time. It's a true story. It's shadow work. You have no idea. Shadow work is true. That is the way to get to that Christ consciousness, is understanding your ego, your pre-programming stations that we've all had to deal with and go through. Cut them down. Because those things make us into things that we're not. You know? And so the shadow work is understanding that the traumas that we go through in our lives are not ours. It's been given to us. So then the shadow work is just basically transmuting that energy. So you have to go through the dirt, the grime. You have to know the devil to understand how to fight the devil. So if a person never smoked pot, they surely can't say that pot's not good for you. They don't know. So shut the fuck up. Now, if you did, then you'd be like, whoa, I don't know. This had this kind of effect on me. It's not so good, or it is, whatever. Then you can base your opinion. But if you ain't never done some shit, you can't say some shit. So I don't commend anybody for their undervalued opinions. I value the people that have been in the mud, in the dirt, had their addictions, had their scars, to say, this is my testimony. This is my testimony. This is what I ran through. This is what I've been through. And I'm here today to bring it to you, to say, I've fallen down 7 times, but a righteous man will keep getting up. If you keep falling, you don't want to get up, that's kind of on you. But you're allowed to fall. You're allowed to make that mistake because you have to learn the lesson. That's the karma. That's the moon cycles. That's everything going around like a damn clock. You're going to figure it out. And then when you do, finally, you get it. My book collection. Well, you can't because my Akashic records are off limit to everyone and anyone. So nobody can get into my library. Sorry, Michelle. True story. No, but as a matter of fact, I gave a friend of mine this little book. It was like a little mini book of Buddha, right? Buddhist teachings, right? And so I really believe that a lot of my knowledge does come from the understanding of the different components that make up this whole reality we live in, right? Like I mean, check this out, right? It's just so easy, right? This is how I think. Everybody's saying that their religion is the best one. It is the most. That's why we have all these fights, right? So you have the Protestant against the Catholics because the Protestants want it to be verbatim for in the Bible, but then the Catholics have it this way, and then you have the Jews talking about this, and there's confusion with the Old Testament and the New Testament. Well, do we still keep sacrificing people in the Old Testament to replace our sins, or is it the New Testament with Jesus being hung on the cross as taking all our sins? I don't know. I'm so confused, right? But it's all a mix of everything because you know why? the Buddhists think that their God is one way. The Muslims think that their God is the only God. The Catholics, the Christianity thinks that their God is their one God, and that's it. But you know what? Everybody's talking about one God. Listen to that again. All these different religions are talking about one God. I mean, India, I'm not so sure. I love you guys. You have some really good food and stuff, a lot of hot chicks, but still, it's like, what? I don't know about a cow god and a grass god and all this. They're deeper back into the history of ancient civilization because they're one of the oldest. Okay. So they got their belief systems way before some of the other belief systems. So I kind of push India to the side. Okay. As far as the religious group. But everybody as a whole is pretty much talking about one God. The Muslims, oh, Allah, Allah, Allah. That's the only one true God. I'll cut your head off if you don't believe in Allah, right? Same with Christianity. The Catholics went around slaughtering everybody during the Inquisition because if you didn't believe in my God, well, then you're going to die. What? Everybody's still talking about one God. So how don't you think that the Christians are talking about one God, the Jews are talking about one God, the Muslims are talking about one God? How isn't everybody hearing that there's only one God? I'm just saying. It's like, it's mind-boggling, and a lot of people get trapped in that when they're not opening themselves to the reality of the truth. Everybody's talking about just one God. My God's better than yours, and mine's better than yours, but you're still talking about one. So how aren't you seeing that? How are we coming together? Nowhere does it say to do that in the New Testament. No, the New Testament is the part of the Jesus Christ dying on the cross for our sins. And the Old Testament was about giving the sacrifices, right? So Jesus was the sacrifice to replace the sacrifices from Abraham. That's kind of where I was going with that. True that. Right. Organized religion. No, it's a tactic for control. That's it. It's all control. Why do you think Rome decided just to make itself a sovereign country? And it's only like 8 square miles big. Because they're doing so much crap that as a sovereign country, they can't get repercussions from it. True. And it's all It's all based off paganistic rituals, anyways. Paganistic rituals. Christmas, stop. Halloween, why are you celebrating the spirits, right? Really? Easter, why are you celebrating Easter when you should really realize the truth of it is you're dipping your eggs back in the day in blood to give it as an offering to your demonic god. Those are what the Catholic Church is basing their religious effects off of now. And people are so dumb, they're like, oh, look at the fat guy in the red suit. Look, he's giving presents. Do you understand what that really means? Do you really know what that means? Go back in history and understand who did it first, who started it. What does this all mean? It's a paganistic ritual. You're giving up your presence, and you're giving your idolizing, you're giving your energy to this Santa Claus, and as a reward, you're getting a present. That's how they do it. They trick you with these things. It's all fluff and fun and fluff and fun. It's bogus, right? Especially with the music. The FCC, where are they, right? They're all over Eminem for talking about some shit about what's real, but they won't cut down the devilistic, satanic worshiping that they put on this stuff and not think it's going to have influence on our children. Sure it does. Do I want my kids growing up that way? No, but do I have a choice? Yeah, I got to say something. If it's not right for one, then it shouldn't be right for the other. But if you're going to do your job right, you better do it right for all, not just for a select few that you're all doing for, right? Cutting down some shit and letting other shit go. Like I watch the tube and I see what they promote, what they allow. It totally goes against their own community standards. You can't be having problems of kids in school shooting up other kids with guns, and then you're going to allow a video to be recommended showing like gun kid violence, and you think it's okay with the thumbnail of a person standing there with another person with a gun to their head, promoting shit that's not in any of kind of my mindset or my reality that I want. Doja Cat, I think she's a devil in herself too. I don't see that, and I think it's disgusting. I've only researched her a little bit, and I think she's a troll. I don't care who she is. She is a troll for what she's showing everybody who she really is and what she stands for. What? I can't get with that. So they allow it. Why? Because that's what they're about. The industry, the tube, the goggle, they're all that, man. Look at the goggle symbol. You'll see 3 6s in that shit. You'll see 3 6s in that shit. Just like Drake, one of his songs is 6 and talking about 6 and 666, and like, come on, really? You're gonna just blast it out there like, hey, you're so dumb you won't figure it out, but you're gonna idolize Drake, so now you're actually giving your energy to the damn devil. Disgusting, my friends. Absolutely disgusting. So they're going to just allow it, right? And then they're going to harp on people that are trying to throw it down. We're not any kind of democratic society. We are a autocratic. Autocratic. Look up that word, autocratic. Right? Nas. Sunshine, your words sound very familiar. Do I know you? Do I know you from Massachusetts? Because sunshine reminds me of sunflowers. Sunflowers. Do you like sunflowers? Are you a Leo by any chance? I don't know. Just saying. Yeah, my friends. So, what do you think about that? What do you think about that? Throw that in your top hat. Libra Scorp. Nice. I like that. Libra Scorp. Right? So you have that nice stinger, don't you? You're like a nice, sweet, smiley stinger before you whack them with your scorpion tail. Yeah, my eye, huh? Ooh. So hey, check this out, right? Speaking of my eye, we're going into Egyptian shit, right? Isis. There's a statue of Isis with Horus, who is her son, sitting in the same pose as Jesus and Mary. How about this? Osiris was killed, and then he was resurrected in 3 days. He was also birthed of a immaculate conception. So Osiris's mother never got pregnant penally, and had an immaculate conception bearing Osiris. And so now, guess what? Isn't that the same story as Mary and Jesus? Same thing. So, are we not carrying a lot of ancient practices and traditions from ancient times as far as back as even Babylon? Sure, we are. And everybody's so dumb to not see it. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they just don't have the sack of the cojones, the huevos, or I'm not good with Spanish, but you know, the nerve, the truth and justice to stand for what's right by God's heart to really say something about it. That's why I'm here. That's why I do what I do. I don't care. I don't, because you're not going to affect me in any way because it's only material. This world I do not love. I have nothing on this world that I love. I have things that, I have to live with and enjoy, but I'm not striving for that ultimate greed of material possessions because I can give two shits. Because you know why? Ain't none of that coming when I'm gone. None of it. My glory and my treasures are there. So when I need to get a deposit, I put it in there. When I need to get a withdrawal, it comes to me. So these withdrawals and deposits, the deposits are your good deeds, and your withdrawals are your spiritual gifts that are enhanced. Okay. It means this is another part of your brain is unlocked for you to use it in a way that nobody else can. Not everybody, but a certain few that can open up certain channels like that. And that's true. Because we only use 10% of our brain, just 10, maybe 8. I don't even know. But if our brain weighs like 25 pounds, that bitch is kind of heavy with our skull and shit, So when you can clear out the clutter of what? The Doja Cats, and then the Taylor Swifts, and then the, movie actors, and then, whatever else influences that we got going on, when you can start shuffling out that noise, now it's so quiet that you only hear yourself. And that's where you get the download. This is why we talk about meditation. Meditation is such a good practice. You don't have to sit there like Buddha and have all these things going on. And, I got my little thing here for my anxiety and I got to roll it, right? But I'm not a Buddhist monk, right? I might be practicing some of the way of it, but guess what? It's only in the way that I can use this tool, in the way that I can channel my own energy, which is going to help me clear out some of the negative crap that goes on that is just bearing us all down to keep us blind. So when you channel that out, well, now you're open. Now you get the message clear, right? So then now you have that directive. Now you better go and take some action with it, okay? Because you're being given that gift and that opportunity. And a lot of people don't take it. They're like, oh, that's just a coincidence, right? No, there ain't no coincidences. Things happen for a reason on purpose because you're in the right place at the right time, at the right vibration to get this energy. Thank you. Thank you, Sunshine. Right. So when you get in tune like that, the resonance is just going to come out naturally, right? So when you get that download and you get that message, you get that gut feeling, you get whatever, your actions are the resonance. That's the actual vibration. You're going to now transmute that feeling, that thought into now action physically, okay? And so when I get my downloads, my transmutation is right here because I'm a Libra Well, Virgo Libra, and that comes straight out here because Libra rules communication. So then you put the Virgo on top of that. I'm very analytical. So I'm going to come speak the truth. Speak the facts. Virgos are about the facts. Libras are going to speak. Excellent communicators. So Virgo Libra would be speaking facts. That's why we have it. Justice, baby. You know what I mean? It's like that. So the deeper we get into those things, and now things are going to start making sense. And you'd be like, wow, I had no idea. Now you should be figuring it out. Like, if you don't believe it, go do your research. But please do it a little bit deeper than just hearsay or what somebody thinks they might know all about. Push it. Push that envelope. Open it up. Tear it open. Figure it out. Because then you're going to be walking around with your sword of truth, cutting shit down. Oh, they're Virgos? Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I'm sure they're very analytical and they're on point and organized, right? Because a lot of the signs are all going to be having the same kind of characteristical traits and personalities and things like that, right? So Virgos are going to be all one way, pretty much. Depends on, once their moon sign kicks in, that's just dealing with your emotions, but straight Virgo sun signs all have the same characteristic traits. And that's how it is. And when you understand that, well, that's the truth. Because then if you have two kids that are acting the same way and they're both Virgo, well, then you understand now what a Virgo is. So now you can apply that truth and those facts to the next person you might meet and see if they're a Virgo. See how it all works? Right. It all slides downhill like that. But you couldn't go around and say, well, you're acting like a Scorpio when you're a Virgo when you don't know about the Virgos. And, it's just confusing. So then when you have that discernment, you take it bigger. You take it farther. You understand now. You see, like, okay, if the Catholic is so holy, then why are they going murdering everybody? Why are they pedophile and shit, right? It's not so holy, right? So then you get deeper into it. Then you figure out all these other things. You learn all the history about things. And then now you're putting that bigger picture together. It's like a puzzle. It really is. It's like a puzzle. And so when you can put that puzzle together, the picture's going to look like what it looks like, right? Yeah. Right down to that last piece. There's no change in it. So, yeah. I don't know, my friends. I think I'm going to keep it right there. I really appreciate y'all coming out here, chit-chatting it up. You guys are fantastic. Thanks for coming on board and hearing this raw and uncut. Right? I'm definitely planning on a whole bunch of backlash for this little conversation with y'all. But you know what? I think you're worth it, right? Y'all are worth it because you need to know some things that other people might not, and they will help you grow because it helps me kind of just, vent a little bit. And like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot more of this because I'm just fed up. I'm just fed up with how the intent of their intentional manipulations and their tactics are really trying to destroy us as a human race. Swear to God. But anyways, my friends, that's it. I will be doing your tarot tomorrow, so check it out. I think we're going to be doing, I think it's like a Taurus, Gemini tomorrow. So Taurus, Gemini, Gemini, Cancer, on and on and on. Be blessed and be brave and be well, my friends. This is our biggest strength right here. Use it. Stay safe. Enjoy yourself, my friends. And I'll definitely see you on the next one. I'm out.